Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Curtis. Today we're going to be talking about craftsmanship. And craftsmanship means the quality of your work or how neat it is. So you can see on my screen that I'm sharing with you my chart of bad craftsmanship, okay craftsmanship, and good craftsmanship. Now when we start thinking about craftsmanship, we have to think about what are we going to do when we color to make it look like good craftsmanship versus what we did when we made it look like bad craftsmanship. So you can see in my bad craftsmanship, there's a couple of things that happen. The first thing that happened is I went outside the lines. Whenever you go outside of a shape with a color, it's going to make it look sloppy. We don't want the work to look sloppy, so we're going to try our best to stay inside the lines. You can see here on okay craftsmanship, I went outside the lines just a little bit. And then even in the good craftsmanship, I did go outside the lines just a little. But you can know that I attempted to stay inside the lines. We're not looking for perfection, but we do want it to look good. If we go back to our bad craftsmanship, the next thing that we can see is that I didn't fill in all of the white spaces. When you have a shape that you're coloring in, if you don't fill in the white spaces, it makes the shape look unfinished. So you can move over to our good craftsmanship and you can see I made sure to fill in all those white spaces so the shape looks complete. The last thing that I did in the bad craftsmanship is my lines are going in all different directions. That means that first I colored this way, and then I colored up and down, and then I went side to side, and I moved around a lot. When you're coloring with markers, crayons, or colored pencils, the more directions that your lines go, the more you're going to see that in your picture, which makes it look like you're scribbling. So you can see in the good or the okay craftsmanship that I actually made sure that all my lines went the same direction. And then again, in the same thing in that good craftsmanship, they're all going across the shape in the same direction. And I actually outlined inside the shape first to make sure I got all the way to the edge. I'm going to show you on a separate sheet how to create this good craftsmanship using markers and colored pencils. Here we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do on my paper is I'm going to just make a shape. And it doesn't matter what shape you make. You can practice this along with me, or you can do it on your own. So I'm going to start by making a shape, and I'm just going to make a triangle. So using my colored pencil, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what direction I want to color. This is really important. Whatever direction I start coloring in, I want to make sure I keep going in that same direction. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and color my shape on a slight diagonal top to bottom. So I'm going to fill in my shape on that angle, and I'm going to keep moving from left to right, making sure that my lines are always going top to bottom on that angle. That's going to keep all my lines the same direction, and it won't look like I scribbled it in. And you'll notice as I'm doing this, I'm not filling in the whole shape at once. I'm not trying to go all the way across it. I'm keeping my movements controlled so I can get right up next to my line and fill it in without going outside the lines. Just like this all the way to the corner. So using good craftsmanship, I started top to bottom on that slight diagonal, and I made sure I finished top to bottom on that diagonal. If I'm using markers, I'm going to be doing something very similar. But to make sure that I can get all the way to the edge without skipping any spots, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add an extra step. I'm going to outline inside the shape first. So I'm going to actually take my marker and create an outline inside the shape like that. Not on the line, not outside the line, but inside the shape. Then I'm going to choose my direction that I'm going to color, and I'm going to make sure I stay going that same direction. And I actually, with my marker, will only color towards myself. So I always start away from myself and pull the line towards me. And start away from me and pull the line towards me. And this is going to ensure that my lines stay nice and neat. And always starting away and pulling those lines towards me, just like that. We want to avoid making it look like we scribbled. We want to make sure that our lines are going that same direction. So whether you're using colored pencils or crayons, or you're using markers, you're going to use these same techniques to create good craftsmanship, making sure that you fill in your shapes all the way and trying to keep all your lines going that same direction. That's so important when you're coloring to make it look nice and neat. All right, practice this and then have fun coloring your cool and warm sun moon drawings. I'll see everybody later. Bye.